Hello, good people. It's your friend Wax Candle coming at you again. I got a video coming to you from Community News 103. Like, share, and subscribe as always. I got a short clip on Just Be a Man. Interesting video where he goes through some scenarios on how the effeminization of the black male is being orchestrated through the media. And Kwame Brown is making some excellent points here because he's sprinkling some good mama seasoning and some good mama's cooking in this video, and he's bringing out some very key points on how a man's supposed to act. Even though I was raised by a woman, these points still stand out, and I still needed that mama's cooking in my life. But first, before we go to Kwame Brown, we're gonna go to our extinguished elder, Judge Joe Brown. Here's Judge Joe Brown. I have the pleasure to introduce him to you today. I got the Brown boys here, Kwame Brown and Judge Joe Brown, the distinguished elder. He will be going through a quick synopsis on the feminization of the black youth.
You made a comment that this last jail stint that you did, you compared it to a slave warehouse.
Yeah, that's what a jail is. It's a slave warehouse.
Okay, explain that.
It's a warehouse for slaves. Slaves. It's exactly what it is. Most of the people that are inmates down there brought it on themselves. 97.5% of the people in American penitentiaries pled guilty and 85% confessed. Less than 3% of those who are in the jails got found guilty at trial. So most of what's down there is just cannibalistic behavior by people who have inefficient training, lack of training, no education, no goals, no upbringing, no home training. And it's a function of the system now to get rid of surplus labor. Lady glut. One, you cut back production. Two, subsidize the would-be producer. And three, you store the surplus. In this case, the surplus is in a jail cell instead of a grain silo. The subsidy is the welfare check. And when the kids bang out, drug out, drop out, develop inappropriate attitudes, outlooks, get pregnant too early, too often, and have no education or training, and have nothing that makes them viable for the job market, they soon turn to criminal activity. They get a felony conviction. They can no longer vote, and they're permanently unemployable. So you've taken them out of the job market, so Archie Bunker is not going to get too badly upset because he still has some kind of job, no, not the one that he grew up expecting. So it's a vicious cycle, and we don't have anything in place in this country to address that. We don't even have any legislation in place in the recent decade to put people back to work after what is, in actuality, almost a depression. So it's getting pretty bad, and when the country has a lot of stress, as it does now, guess who's the first to be scapegoated, even if only vicariously?
Right, the poor people.
Poor people, particularly readily identifiable poor people. That's driving that engine that has produced Black Lives Matter. You see, there's stress out there, and some of the things we do puts us in a position where we become easy targets for this kind of thing. So when we start thinking Black Lives Matter, we do those things so that all lives matter, and we get in a better position to take care of our own situation. We've got too many situations like Ferguson, where the old minority is now the majority, but it doesn't realize it, and the old majority doesn't realize it's the minority. And you've got a preponderance of African American people with no African American political involvement. And that's bad. We've got that in Memphis. We've got a situation here where we've got 5 African Americans running for mayor and 1 conservative white, and it looks like he's going to wind up winning. We had a congressional seat that was held by somebody African American, that's the Fords, Harold Sr. and Jr., and then when Jr. ran for U.S. Senator and resigned, we had 14 blacks in the race and 1 white, and he won. So we do it to ourselves by some selfish, egotistical things, too many half-broke African American politicians trying to get elected to positions they aren't really able to handle, and that they're looking at as a source of income supplement, which causes them to become ineffective, or else they've been involved in petty venality and they get blackmailed and controlled. It's bad. African Americans had a big chance over the last 5 decades, but I think we frittered a lot of it away by selecting leadership that is unaggressive, passive, and lacking in cojones.
It's a pretty big statement right there.
It is, but it's our thing that we're losing. The window of opportunity is swiftly closing. W.E.B. Du Bois 100 years ago said the problem of the 21st century, well, the 20th century was going to be the color line, and the solution was for the top 10% of the race to bootstrap itself and the rest of the race up. But we had that for a number of years, but now those who would bootstrap become those who are pulling us back down because they've got side deals that are selfish.
So you feel that the richest 10% of African Americans have been bought out?
It's not richest 10%. Du Bois was talking about the intelligentsia, the intellectual, those who were learned and who understood. Too often what's happened now is they're just about their careers and not about their social and political and cultural obligations, which they don't see as that now.
I mean, this is definitely true on the hip hop side of things, because this is one of the things that we talked about a lot. When you remember the 90s, you had not only Tupac, but you had a lot of people like Public Enemy and Paris and Poor Righteous Teachers, and there was a definite political piece of hip hop which was the mainstream. Whereas when you look at hip hop today,
Lil Nas X makes out with his backup dancer.
We're here. We're queer, get used to it.
The singer took the stage at the 2021 BET Awards on Sunday night for a steamy rendition of his hit song Montero, Call Me By Your Name.
It's Pride Month, happy Pride Month.
Lil Nas X took on the role of a pharaoh.
Took on the role as a pharaoh. He don't even know what the fuck a pharaoh is. They paying this young black boy to be disgusting on TV so the youth can follow him. He's just a young boy. He's been paid millions and millions of dollars to do all this gay and shit he wouldn't even do if it was not for the money. See, they took the rap from the 90s, Poor Righteous Teachers, Tupac, Public Enemy, and they used the rap against us. They switched it around from positive to negative and giving devils lap dances and destruction of the black youth.
you don't see very much of that. You see little spatterings here and there, but there's no strong artist who's actually pushing the political agenda in hip hop at all.
Well, no, there's not. And one of the problems that some of them tell me is that the consumer just doesn't want to buy that kind of thing. Now, even Tupac, Biggie Smalls, and all of that, their political statements were very small. And there is a problem with current rap in that it is popular because masculinity has been so downplayed in this country and in the Western world that the male youth look for anything that looks masculine. And you get what looks to be overt masculinity, say in gangsta, hip-hop, rap video, but it's not.
That's the elder Joe Brown speaking very eloquently on these new school rappers, how they're all being paid to be a mouthpiece for the young kids to express more of the effeminate characteristics Nas X he's taking it to another level where he's just blatantly kissing men in the mouth at the BET Awards. Um, Also, they're showing all this glitz and glamour, so everybody want to be a rapper. But if you can't say kill a nigga, shoot a nigga, fuck a nigga, bury a nigga in your music, you can't get a record deal. And if you can't be effeminate, nothing wrong if you're gay, but why they have to be so persistent by throwing it in our face? They're trying to effeminize, especially the black man and the black youth.
Okay, so I am completely disgusted, and this is what I'm talking about in regards to the industry. Man, now as you guys know, Young Thug is questionable. We've always questioned his sexuality and whether or not he was into women and men or just women. We never knew or really understood what actually was going on with him. Well, that's until now. He has decided to tell JT that he wants to be with Lil Uzi Vert. Here's what he said. I'll be back with my comment. Get all the way straight vibes from Lil Uzi Vert anyway. I get those vibes where I feel like he likes both men and women, but what's more disturbing is that the industry, they mislead people into thinking things are one way when they're really another, and we can see how it's just running rampant with bisexualities and more. It's really awkward for me to see this coming from Young Thug, because I'm always rocking out to Usher. I have no problem with the LGBTQIA community, but just keep it a buck from the rip. Like, I don't like the fact that we have to wait till these people make it. Like, for instance, Nas X, he waited until his next album came out to say that he was gay. And it's like, why didn't you just say that? If you're living in your truth, then just say it. All right, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Leave comments. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Commentary.
I want your man that this bitch won't spider whiter. Now it's time for the big flighter. It's time for the spider whiter. Now it's time for the spider whiter. I want your man that this bitch won't spider whiter. Now it's time for the big flighter. It's time for the spider whiter. Now it's time for the spider whiter. I want your man that this bitch won't spider whiter. Now it's time for the big flighter. It's time for the spider whiter. Now it's time for the spider whiter.
Okay, so as you guys can see, he made it very clear that JT, I want your man. And then he goes on to do Twerkulator, but not twerk.
All right, well, enough of all this men twerking and all this. Hip hop has become something like a tool to use against the black community. It's a teaching tool for negativity, killing each other. Black boys hating each other, hating themselves, and they disgrade of women. So now we're gonna go into Kwame Brown, who's gonna break it down and bring it all home into one piece on Just Be a Man. Here's your boy, Mama's Cooking, coming right up.
I want to make it like I'm crazy. See, the title is It's Okay to Be a Man. And see, this is proof positive. It's okay to be a man. I came here cussing, rooting, tooting, booting, bringing up my own sayings, being myself, being an individual. And there's so many men out there right now that just feel choked off and left behind because they gotta pretend so much. They gotta hide who they really are. They like raging bulls. Some of you dudes listen to me talk, and because you ain't never had no mama's cooking, or whatever your mama's cooking is telling you, woman, 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 so you don't understand that a lion don't care about the opinion of sheep. Shout out Kevin Gates, because that's true. When he put that in a song, I said, whoa! What lion walk around apologizing to everybody and asking their opinion? And then some of you men hear me speak, and it makes your skin crawl. You look at your wife and say, he a bad man, toxic man. Listening to what they told you what a man is. Some of you want to get aggressive. Oh, he talked this. No, I played by the rules of the game. And you talked about my mama's son. And I told you, you don't know what that meant to me. So you want to talk about something that means something to me? So I talked about something that meant something to you. That's why you don't talk with that effeminate tongue to a man, boy. It is okay to be a man. America don't want you to be a man. That's why they teaching kids, look at what boys are going through in schools. Boys are not even learning. Black boys are reading at a 4th grade reading level. And it ain't because the teachers are bad, it's because they're not even paying teachers a decent enough wage. I'm an athlete. Why'd you pay me so much to entertain? What are you trying to distract the people from? If the kids are our next generation, why ain't the focus on their education? You would rather teach them about their gender or their identity before you teach them about coding. And which one has proven to make a child more successful? Look up the numbers for you, what happens when you teach a child coding and what they become. Why don't we have coding teachers in every school, in every class around America, if this is what make these kids successful and these kids are our future? Still think I'm crazy? Please explain to me why these teachers are sitting these young boys down in chairs that got all this testosterone and you know they need to run around and move and do interactive learning, but you sit them in the chairs and then you punish them for wanting to get up, especially the black boy that got a little more testosterone. You make this boy sit down all day. You know what happens? See, I have a dog. And anybody that knows that have an animal, and not to say that little boys are wild animal, but we have that thing in us. And so if I don't take my dog out for a walk, you know what's gonna happen probably? If I don't get that energy out, if I don't run her, guarantee she's gonna chew the fuck out of something in that house. So my question is, chew the heck out of something in that house. Now my question is, why would people who are way smarter than me take the time out and not look up the numbers of what's going on and say, this is how we make a change? We're gonna pay teachers the same way that we pay athletes so they can ride around in Maseratis, because kids need to do the wiggle wiggle and they need to have fun while they learning. You need to make school fun. Don't Amazon or Google do the interactive working so guys, men and women feel good about coming to work. But no, you want to pay teachers almost nothing, and then you want to have the kids sitting down all day with all this testosterone. So you're training men not to be men from the beginning. That's why so many men don't know how to be men. That's why so many of them brainwashed, buying shoes. Now y'all can say, why now? Why now, Kwame? Well, why would I talk while I'm getting paid by them? Remember, I just said I'm not above the rules. They had their hand in my pocket. I was getting paid. Why would I talk and not be able to help mama so my mama can sprinkle her cooking on the golf course? That's why they not talking. That's why they not saying nothing. That's why they keep giving you these celebrities that they control. Yeah, mama's cooking. They're not giving you no real heroes that's out here in the ground. And any celebrity that talk like I'm talking, I keep getting people telling me, oh, pray for them, be okay for them, y'all watch out for them. So y'all been trained already too. Y'all know better. Ain't that better? Patrice O'Neal. R.I.P. So they got y'all trained too. They got all of us trained. When they started that following and like, now it's all about who we like. It's not about the conversation. You can mention certain people's name. Hey, let me tell you what Candace Owens said. Oh, I don't like her. I don't even want to hear that. But let me tell you what she said. Oh, hell no. Excuse me. They don't even want to hear it. They trained you now. You in a simulation. They trained you not to like me. And they went all around the world. I did a good job destroying masculinity and flipping it upside down and giving us a loud mouth, effeminate male that don't do nothing but talk and bash and take away the manhood of stronger men that in the real world we could just. And I'm not promoting violence, kids. Okay, that ain't enough. Stephen A., what did you tell Andrew Wiggins? You not tearing down black men? Y'all not, that's not what y'all doing? I'm just an angry, crazy dude, right? So I think, allegedly, I hope, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm crazy. I snapped. But I think I heard something like, you said trade this young man, mama's son, for a box. You talking about this man, mama's son, like that. You said trade this man for a box. You emasculate a black male that's strong. And you do it for the world to see. It's like a gladiator versus a you. And somehow you always win with no powers except the people that's protecting you. Still think I'm lying, huh? Ray Rice allegedly got spat on by his wife. Allegedly, he hit his wife. Even though it's on camera, I'm still saying allegedly because y'all playing. He allegedly hit his wife. And y'all made that man apologize to every black woman in America. You made him talk about his mama and how his mama raised him. You made him apologize to his wife and let her put his foot on his neck, even though she was allegedly a little disrespectful herself. See? But then when the white guy, see, the crazy thing here is I could barely remember the guy's name. That's how much you ran his story. Played for the Seahawks. Allegedly stumped that black woman. Allegedly. I saw pictures, allegedly. Face beat up. Didn't really hear much about it after a couple days. He didn't have to go apologize to all black women. He didn't have to go on a campaign letting that woman kick his drawers in his ass and marry him so she can get some of his money. No, that ain't happened. But y'all made sure Ray Rice know his place. And you wonder why so much violence and aggression in the black community. Y'all kicking these black boys' drawers in their buttocks. Not letting them be men. We already don't have examples of fathers because you guys keep pumping single parent households. And with all this data, with all this science, and with all this proof that it's not offensive to a woman to say, hey, look at this number. And I qualify to talk about it because I grew up in it. And the numbers, I have 5 out of 8 of my brothers go to prison. I qualify to tell my family story, no matter if it hurts your feelings. And we've been caring about feelings for so long that we won't tell the truth. That everything that we pumping and pushing to these kids is nothing that's going to help them be smarter, be successful, and be ready for this future. Seems like you teaching them everything in reverse to make them angry and tear down everything in the streets. To not have them the ability to critical think because you captivating their mind with a game all day. And Fortnite, that was genius, allegedly. Whoever made the game, maybe not Fortnite, I think, allegedly, whoever made the game Fortnite, y'all are allegedly geniuses because there's no pause button on Fortnite. So now, automatically, when a father corrects a son and stop him from that game because he can't pause it and get back to it. Now he pissed off because he was in the chat and he was kicking butt. Now he mad at mama. Now he ripping TVs off walls because he in the chat. And there's no pause button, so he can pause, so he can take care of responsibilities and business outside and listen to his mama's cooking. So now these little boys strengthen with mama and daddy. They don't even want to come out the room. They don't even want to be around their family because they know they're going to stop them from playing that game. And it ain't no pause button. So allegedly, that's genius. Y'all been held away from mama's cooking for so long. And all of y'all need to get recentered and refocused back to your mama's cooking. Sometimes y'all mama warn y'all before trouble happens. My mama used to have bad nightmares and wake up and tell my brothers, don't go over here, don't go over there. And every time they ain't listen, they end up in the cuffs. It's time out for teaching these boys that all they got is basketball and to entertain when all the entertainers are controlled. We are the like and follow society. Somebody actually joked on a Third Eye Geechee about not having likes and followers. They actually thought that was gonna hurt my feelings. I was taken aback that they thought that. I'm like, man, what the fuck wrong with you? I don't care about that. I've been like this. They have taught y'all to not think. They've taught you to only listen to the people you like. So that's easy to control you. Now, the beehive of strength with anybody over here, whoever's the strongest posse, whoever got the most followers, that's who they give the playbook to. No matter if it makes sense. They know kids don't need sense no more. They ain't been talking to their mamas. Mama gotta go to work. They've been telling mama they don't need no man. So mama gotta be mama and the man, and what those kids are not getting is mama's cooking. They have made you bash women that sit there and nurture their kids and give them mama's cooking. But that's the thing we need. I'm a product of mama's cooking. No matter what Charlemagne tried to do and dox me for whatever my father did, because my mama didn't even tell me that, sir, because she knew. Them mamas know, them good mamas, when they sprinkling that cooking in that season, they know what to put in the pot. They don't need your help, sir. So shame on you. Especially with your checkered path. You just proven that you paid for the go along, get along game. Y'all controlling the masses by these likes and these followers. Y'all need to go unfollow every celebrity and follow your mama's cooking. Follow somebody in your family that's the example, that's doing it successful, that's doing it the right way. And if you got these women in your life, see, the thing that y'all don't understand, the reason why they're attacking y'all young boys and kicking our draws and our buttocks so much, because they want our women to take over. If you can look at it, our women are the most strong, masculine jokers in the world. A woman can literally punch you in the face right now, and you do anything short of turning to run, somehow you're bad toxic guy. But they overlook the same behavior that they're claiming they're trying to make the world eradicate, which is bad behavior. See, they taught y'all to join these groups and be a part of something. The more group and the more letters and numbers in front of the group, the more out of control and your behavior can change. Still think I'm crazy? Watch the behaviors of some of these people that join these groups. It is the worst behavior you can ever see. See, I don't follow the group. I don't follow none of that. I watch what work, and I watch behavior. And what I'm seeing right now is people are joining these big groups and getting protection because they know they taught people not how to think, especially not go against somebody they like. Because I like you, I can't disagree with you. Otherwise, we can't be no friends no more. You saying something against what I said? It's not the way the world works. When I went to St. Simon's Island Elementary and Glen Academy High School, because you know I stopped right there, but when I was in those two schools, I had beautiful teachers. Miss Perry was one of them. And those who I miss, I apologize. But they taught me that people have a right to say whatever they want to say. But you have a right to challenge what they say. Not quiet them down, not get offended, not yell and shout them down. You just ask them the who, the why, the what, and the when. And now you guys start a dialogue. Some fights are starting because they took away critical thinking. Now it's all about trying me, disrespecting me. See, when you have a race of people and you have all these people that don't know how to critically think and don't know how to talk it out, when men don't do no talking, because a lot of times and where we from in our community, we don't do no talking. And that's why we do a lot of you know what. Because when men don't do no talking, then violence ensues. So it's okay to talk. It's healthy to talk. It's not weak to talk. We make it look like that's weak. See, you thought that was weak, Matt and Jack. You just didn't know how much manly that was to try to show you that I have a brand, that I have a child, and you being showboaty. You lost your sight of your purpose because they've torn down so many black men right in front of you that you so used to seeing it that you okay with it. But most places, that's where I go. People will tell you, if they ask you about me, they'll see you around. You either see me dancing and having a great time, shaking it up, you know, doing the big, you know, getting these shoulders working, you know. That's what I do. Or I'm sitting there quiet and I'm people watching. And sometimes I see the craziest stuff. And I'm just watching, observing, feeling the people so I can know what's going on. And what's going on is absolutely crazy. And the only way we're going to change that is we're going to have to stop all this yelling and shouting and running up and down the street. We can fix this with simple fixes. Organizations are raising 90 and 80 and hundreds of millions of dollars in the sake of talking about helping the black community. But they won't even give you the information on the opportunity zones. Y'all giving out 80, 90 million dollars. There should be coding centers in every neighborhoods. There shouldn't be no parks without covering and courts and lights and all this, because the kids are our future, right? We keep worrying about adults. We keep worrying about grown-ups and people who made poor choices in their life that don't want to look at the numbers and deal with their consequences. See, y'all thought I was a game. When I told you about my mama's cooking and my mama's seasoning, I told you how good the food was. And she put it in me. And I was trying to give it to y'all. But instead, they gave y'all Stephen A. and every reporter that was talking about my mama's cooking. And now y'all get to judge it and see for yourselves how it tastes to you. Y'all have a blessed day.